Jai Shri Ram. This is one of my posts on Twitter way back in August 2018. This has seen more than 3,500 views so far. Now I am posting this so that a GRE student who is learning vocabulary should realize that vocabulary should be used and can be used. So, because unfortunately many students think that all the vocabulary that I am learning to do well in the GRE is perhaps useless and unnecessary for me. Well, it is useless and unnecessary if you don't intend to use it. It is very useful if you really intend to be successful in your career, because you are going to English speaking nations mostly, and even if you go to other countries where English is not the native language, the craze for English is such that mastery of English is your passport to success, really. So, the whole purpose of this small post is to explain the words that I have used there, so that you too will realize that when you learn words, you must use them. Find a way to use them. Don't bother whether somebody likes it or not. Use them, because what is expressed is impressed. Docendo decimus is a Latin quote. Docendo, docendo, decimus, Discimus. This Latin quote basically means we learn by teaching. We learn by teaching. So, what I want to say is, when you learn words, use them, put them on social media, and by doing so, you are not only improving your vocabulary, you are reinforcing your memory, you are helping somebody develop their communication skills too. Otherwise, what is the use of learning and simply forgetting after some time? So, judiciary is mostly pompous panjandrums. Now, pompous means putting up a show, ostentation, putting up a big show, empty show. A panjandram is a nice word which describes a high government official who puts on airs of importance, but he is a useless fellow who will not get anything done, but he will act very important. So there are many people like that in our country, who are panjandrams. Actually, the word has a Chinese connection. In the Chinese king's court, there were these chaps who used to be heavily dressed, over kind of dressed, and used to be very arrogant people who used to dominate people and somehow, pretend to be very important and actually become a pain in the neck for anything. So, pompous panjandram, that is alliteratives, you see, papa. So, pompous panjandram fits very well. It describes all these ministers and all those civil servants who don't do any work, who simply bask in the glory of the post and become a burden on the exchequer. Judiciary, unfortunately, in our country, there is so much corruption. Embracery, Embracery. Embracery is the term, legal term. Embracery means corruption in the judiciary. It is a sad truth. In fact, we are not even allowed to criticize the judiciary, because then it can be considered contempt of court, which is even more ridiculous. I am 61 now. I don't mind if they take me to the jail also for this. They'll have to, rethink what they have done. Spineless to provide any edification. Edify means to morally improve. Moral improvement. That's what the judiciary is supposed to do. To a decrepit polity. Decrepit means totally run down. In a rundown condition, tattered, weak, unable to stand on its own legs. This can be a word used to describe a house, a society, or even an old man, a decrepit old man. Polity is a group of people who have an established government. Polity simply means people who have Indian polity, American polity, okay, with a tattered constitution. Tattered means patawa, chinigipoina. That means the shirt is torn. 115 sutures. Well, I don't know if it is exactly 115. I am implying the amendments. When you have already made 115 amendments, why don't we bring about a new constitution? It is like if your shirt is torn in 115 places, I think it's high time you get yourself a new shirt, isn't it? Eco cesspool, eh? Or septic tank. All the contents of the septic tank go and get into that cesspool. So that is the eco cesspool. We need a Swachh Judiciary Abhiyan urgently. Hope you liked it, but I don't know if anyone is seriously listening to this. Anyway, if you are a GRE aspirant, learn to use words. Jai Shri Ram.